Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to your online class once again, class 8. I hope you have revised whatever I had taken up previously in this chapter, atomic structure. In the last lecture I had taken up the valence shell, valence electrons, and how molecules of elements and compounds are formed. So let's quickly recapitulate. So what is the valence shell? That is the outermost shell of an atom is called its valence shell. Here you can see the atomic structure of carbon. This is an atom of carbon. You can see how the electrons are arranged. So this is the valence shell, that is the outermost shell of an atom is known as its valence shell, and the electrons which are present in this shell are known as the valence electrons. Is it clear? So these electrons, I have told you, are very important as they do what? They participate in the chemical reaction and they are responsible for the formation of compounds. Why do the elements form compounds? This is also very important. But before that, I had told you that there are certain elements which do not react with other elements. They are known as noble gases or inert gases. What is the reason behind their stability or unreactive nature? Let's revise that also. I had told you that there are certain elements which do not react with other elements to form compounds, and they are known as the noble gases. For example, I had given the example of helium, and there are other elements as well. For example, xenon, krypton, argon. There are other elements. Now these are some of the elements which are apart from the noble gases. That is, this is the only noble gas, and amongst these elements whose atomic structures have been shown, this is hydrogen, this is lithium, then we have beryllium, then carbon and sodium. So what did I tell you about these elements? What is the difference between helium and other elements? I had given you two rules, that is the duet rule and octet rule. That is, if a particular atom is containing a single shell, then that becomes the outermost shell, or the first shell of an atom will always contain 2 electrons and not more than that. But if it is the last shell also, it is the only shell that is present, that is the valence shell also, and it is containing 2 electrons, that means it is stable. So this rule that the outermost shell should contain a maximum of 2 electrons if it is the first shell, it is known as the duet rule. And I had given you the octet rule also. Apart from the first shell, if it is another any other shell like second, third, fourth and so on, the maximum number of electron that will be present in the valence shell should be 8 and not more than that. So in all these, what can you see? Here it is 4 in the valence shell, here it is only 1 where it should be 2, here also it is 1 where it should be 8, and here it is 2 where it should be 8. So I had told you that in the first shell, the maximum that should be there in the first shell should be how many? It should be, if it is first, it should be 2. So if it is first shell, then that the number of electrons should be 2. It is, apart from it is the second shell, it should be 8. But if it is the valence shell, even if it is the third or fourth shell, it should be 8. The maximum number of electron that should be there should be 8. That is, the valence shell at the maximum should contain 8 electrons and not more than 8. Then only it is stable or unstable. Now in all these cases, what can you see? These are in unstable form, that they will react with other compound, and through a chemical reaction they will undergo a chemical reaction and then will react with the various elements and form different compounds. So this is the reason for the instability. That, and how do they How do they become stable? When they react with other elements and form compounds. So for the reaction, what is happening, that these electrons, that is the valence electrons, are involved in all the cases apart from this. In this, the duet rule is there, that is the octet is complete, the outermost shell configuration is complete, it is a stable element, it is in a stable form. So this is a noble gas. So such elements whose outermost shell configuration is complete, they are known as inert gases or noble gases. Is it clear? So today we will discuss valency. Now what is valency? The term itself means it is derived from the from the term valence, that is outermost shell. Valence electrons are electrons I have told in the outermost shell, and valency is the number of valence electrons an atom uses to form a chemical bond. I have told you, in order to attain stability, what does an atom do? It tends to form bonds. What is this formation of bond that is taking place? That is the gain, loss or sharing of electrons that lead to the formation of this chemical bond. Is it clear? You can see this is a hydrogen molecule formed by two atoms of hydrogen. Yes, two atoms of hydrogen. Now what is this that you can see in between? This is what? This is a bond. I had told you earlier also that what is the electronic configuration of hydrogen? Hydrogen has atomic number 1. Electronic configuration is 1. That is, in the first shell it has only 1 electron. And what is the maximum number of electrons that it can accommodate? The first shell can accommodate is 2. It is 2, that is the maximum. But here it was only 1 electron. What will happen if two hydrogen atoms join together? Then both of them will have, or will be in a form which will be stable, that both of them will share an electron and become stable. That means each one of them will show 2 electrons. Like we can show this by examples. That is 1 electron of hydrogen. Now I told you what atomic stability. In the case of hydrogen also, what is happening, that if 2 atoms share the electron, that is 1 electron in each shell, they share it, then their duplet gets completed, the electronic configuration completed, that each one appears to be having 2 electrons, and that is resulting in the formation of bond. So that is what atomic stability is. That is, stability of an atom depends on whether or not the outermost shell is filled with the maximum number of electrons. If it is filled, that is, the outermost shell has the maximum electronic configuration, that is complete. The one which should have 2, it is having 2, or one which should have 8 is having 8, then it is stable, as you have seen in the case of inert gases. But otherwise it is unstable. That means it has unfilled outer shell. See? So having unfilled outer shell, and they are unstable, and will usually form chemical bond in order to attain stability. In order to become stable or remain in the form in which they should exist, then what do? They react with other elements and form compounds. And when they form new compounds, they do what? They share, accept or lose electrons. Is that clear? And that results in the formation of bonds. And for this, what is responsible? Which electrons are shared, gained or accepted? They are the valence electrons. That is why we have the concept of valency. That is, the combining capacity of an atom of element with the atom of other elements form molecules is called valency. Or you can even say that the number of hydrogen atoms that combine with or displace one atom of an element or the radical is called the valency of the element or radical. So in simple terms, the combining capacity of an atom of an element with the atom of other element to form molecules is called valency. Or if you make it more simpler, that means the number of electrons that are gained, lost or accepted, or gained or gained is accepted same, or shared. Gained and accepted is the same thing. Gained, lost or shared, they determine the valency of a particular element. Is it clear? So valency of a particular element is determined by the number of electrons that are gained, lost or shared by an element, the atom of an element. Is that clear? So these electrons which are gained, shared or electron determine the combining capacity of an element. That is the number of electron it is going to gain, share or accept will tell you the valency of a particular element. Now when you determine the valency of a particular element, you have to know the atomic number of that particular element. So that will determine the number of valence electron, and the valence electron will determine the valency. Now for instance, you can see in this, so the first rule is the elements with 1, 2, 3 electron in the outermost shell, that is the valence shell, show valency of +1, +2 and +3. So the simplest example is hydrogen. You can see this symbol is H. You can see over here the symbol is H, right? And it has atomic number 1, which I have shown over here. Electronic configuration is 1. Is it clear? Electronic configuration is 1, which you can see very clearly over here. That means the valency will be +1. That is the combining capacity, that is the number of valence electrons determine the valency of a particular element. Here helium is having atomic number 2. So here this we will discuss later on. It is a noble gas, so we can leave it for the time being. Move on to the next element with the atomic number 3, so its electronic configuration is how much? 2 and 1, right? This is 2 and 1. So how many valence electrons are there? 1. So the valency is +1. Similarly beryllium. Now beryllium has atomic number 4, so its electronic configuration is 2 in the K shell and 2 in the L shell. So 2 valence electrons, that means its valency is +2. Now these electrons that you can see in the form of valency, which you can see as the valence electron, determine the valency of these elements. Now these number of electrons will combine or lead to the formation of bonds and form compounds. Is it clear? Similarly, next is boron. Atomic number, this is not very clear here. It has atomic number, it has a symbol of B and atomic number 5. So you can see the electronic configuration is 2 and 3. Again you can see the valence electrons are how many? 3. So the valency is +3. Is it clear to you? Now similarly we have carbon. Elements with 4 electrons in the valence shell show valency of 4. For example, again carbon, which has atomic number 6, and so it will have a electronic configuration of 2 and 4. Is it clear? This is 2 and 4, which is very clear to you. So its valency is 4. Then similarly over here with silicon, 14 and 28, electronic configuration is 2 in the K shell, 8 in the L shell and 4 in the M shell. So 4 is the valency of silicon. So you've understood how we write the valencies, that is the number of valence electrons. You can see this over here. So So when we are putting a plus sign, it shows the capacity to donate electrons. Donate electrons during a chemical combination. That means all these compounds which have a valency, positive valency, that is a plus sign is before the valency, that means they will be donating those electrons, they will be losing those electrons. So those electrons will determine the valency. Those electrons will help in the formation of compounds. How do they? If suppose hydrogen and chlorine react together, they form HCl. Is it clear? They form HCl. Hydrogen plus chlorine, when it reacts together, they form HCl. It's a new compound. And how have they formed that HCl? They have formed by the formation of bonds. By the what has happened? A chemical reaction has taken place between hydrogen and HCl, and HCl between hydrogen and Cl2, that is chlorine, and it has led to the formation of HCl, that is hydrogen chloride. What has happened in this formation? A bond has formed between hydrogen and chlorine. And how has it formed? By loss, gain or sharing of electron, which we will discuss later on. Is it clear? So if it is a plus sign, that means a particular element that is having a positive valency has lost those electrons, has donated its electron, and this is the number of electron, that is the valency determines the number of electrons that it will lose or it will donate. If it is plus 1, that means it will donate 1 electron. If it is plus 2, it will donate 2 electrons. If it is plus 3, it will donate 3 electrons. If it is plus 4, it will donate 4 electrons. Is it clear? So that is why we have put a plus sign over here. Now next is elements with 5, 6, 7 and 8 electrons in their valence shell show -3, -2, -1 and 0 valency respectively. Now you can see over here there are elements like 2, 8, 7 for chlorine. I have already told you also that chlorine has atomic number 17. Is it clear? You can see the electronic configuration is 2, 8 and 7. Now I have already told you, in order to attain stability, what should be the maximum number of electron, that is the octet rule that you have done. What is the maximum that should be there? It should be 8. How many are less? 1 electron is less. So those number of electrons which are less over here, that is those number of electrons which will be what? Which will be accepted. Is that clear? Which will be accepted by that particular element determine the valency of these elements which have a negative valency. That is why they have a negative valency. That is, these number of electrons will be accepted. These number of electrons are less and they will be accepted by the other elements, by the elements which are having the negative valency. So similarly for sulfur also you can see that sulfur has an atomic number of 16, right? Sulfur has atomic number 16. So its electronic configuration is 2, 8 and 6. Now in order to attain stability, how many electrons are less over here? 2 electrons. Is that clear? That means it will accept those 2 electrons. This becomes -2. This is -2. So its valency is -2. Similarly for phosphorus, when it's again its atomic number is 15 and it has a symbol of P. So it becomes electronic, this becomes 2, 8, 5. That means it is going to gain those 3 electrons. Is that clear? So its valency is 3 minus 3, sorry. Its valency is minus 3. So negative sign shows the capacity to accept electrons during chemical combination. Now please keep this concept in your mind that the elements with 1, 2, 3 electrons in the outermost shell show valency of +1, +2, +3. Means these electrons it will lose. So, and similarly the elements with 5, 6, 7 and 8 electrons in the valence shell show -3, -2, -1 valency. 8 electrons I have not discussed just now. When it is they are having 8 electrons, that means they are stable. The outermost shell valence shell electronic configuration is complete. Is that clear? That means they will have no electrons to share, gain or accept. That means you can see over here for helium, I have discussed this several times, 2 electrons in the first shell. That means its 2 plate is complete, its outermost shell electronic configuration is complete, so it has a valency of 0. Similarly we have for neon. Neon is having how much? An atomic number of 10. Again it is having 2 and 8, 2 in the K shell and 8 in the 8 electrons in the L shell. Again its outermost electronic configuration is complete, its valence is also 0. Then we have another one, that is argon. Argon, its atomic number is 18. That means 2, 8 and 8. Outermost shell electronic configuration is how much? 8. How many electrons? 8. That means the valency will be, again you can see it is 0 over here. So you can see that elements which have 8 electrons in the valence shell, that is the outermost shell, will show a 0 valency. Now please keep this concept in your mind. Is it clear? So you have the table on page number 53, table 4.5, in which the number of subatomic particles, atomic notation, electronic configuration of the first 20 elements in the periodic table are given. That is, periodic table is the table in which the elements are arranged in the increasing order of the atomic numbers. Anyhow, these 20 elements you have to learn. You have to learn the symbols along with the valencies. Is that clear? You have to, when the atomic number and mass number will be given, you should be able to calculate the number of protons, electrons, neutrons, and you can give the atomic representation as well. So this is what is given in this table. Hydrogen, helium, lithium I have discussed. Again for nitrogen 7 and the mass number is 14, so you can easily calculate the number of protons or electrons. This we have discussed earlier also, and so I'll discuss it once more today.